Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares. Welcome back to the Fangoria Movie Challenge. Now, this is a segment I do with my good buddy Joe the Horror Man, where we are not only going to watch, but we're going to review all 101 movies Fangoria thinks that we should have seen. This week is a special one. This week, it's The Sender. Why is this special? This is special because this is a first time watch for both Joe and I. Now, The Sender is a 1982 film which runs approximately 91 minutes and is directed by Roger Christian. He was responsible for Black Angel, Stranded, which is actually a pretty good film, and The Final Cut. Not the one with um, Robin Williams, but a different one. Now, this stars Katherine Harold as Gail Farmer. She was in Raw Deal, Miracles, Outrage, and a bunch of television. And I'm going to see if I can pronounce this name. This is basically your main character. Zelko Ivanek as the Sender. Or John Doe 83. He was in Argo, The Soldier, and School Ties. And Shirley Knight as Geraldine. She passed away on April 22nd, 2020 at the age of 83. She was in Mercy, Paul Blart Mall Cop 1 and 2, and Angel Eyes. Now this grossed $1,054,328 worldwide, and apparently this was Quentin Tarantino's favorite horror movie of 1982. All right, The Sender is a very different type of film, and we have a long history. I'll get into the history after I give a brief synopsis. I don't want to say too much about this one because I don't want to give anything away. A young man in the beginning tries to commit suicide by putting rocks in his pockets and walking out into a lake. He is then rescued and taken to an insane asylum, or an asylum for the mentally ill, I guess I should say. And he is given the name John Doe 83 because he will not tell him his name. He gives very little information about his life, if anything at all, and he is counseled by Dr. Farmer. They perform all these tests on him, and he appears to have one living relative, which is his mom, who comes in and out of the asylum basically at will. Now, I'm not going to tell you what the Sender is and why it's pertinent to the film, because I feel that that's something that you have to get, and it's also part of the twist at the end and how everything kind of spins around and turns everything on its ear, kind of. But strange things start happening at this asylum, and you're somehow left with the knowledge that the Sender is somehow responsible. That's as far as I'm going to go with it. I'm being vague on purpose because, to me, this is a very unique horror film. And I think that's why it made the 101 movies that we should have seen from Fangoria. I thought this movie was fantastic up until the last act. The last act kind of fell apart a little bit, in my opinion, and I know Joe felt the same way. It was still a good watch. Is it worthy of being on Fangoria's 101 movies that we should have seen? At that time, yes. And I still think it's a good watch. And not everybody's going to feel the same way I do and Joe does about the ending kind of falling apart. This is a slow burn. and it's my type of film. I do like slow burns that progress and give you a little bit more knowledge as it goes along, but you see these horrific things in the meantime. But like I said, it kind of fell apart for me at the end, so eh, you know, I liked it. I liked it a lot. But like I said, it does have its flaws. This is the first one that to me would be kind of iffy because this was done, I believe, in the early 2000s or in the late 90s, the original Fangoria 101 movie challenge. I believe that that would have probably been booted for another film, but that's just my opinion. Now, my relationship with this film. Okay, this is a movie that I've always wanted to see, but it wasn't easy to get a hold of until, of course, Olive um, Films put it out. Now, my wife and I had gotten FiOS, and in FiOS, when you sign up, they give you this thing, or they used to. I don't know if they still do, but they give you these points that you can get like a free rental or a couple free rentals. It was like a certain amount of points, and you could pick something, or if something had lower points, I'm sure you guys get what I'm going for. And I really wanted to see The Sender. My wife goes, "Yeah, why don't we watch it?" So I picked The Sender. It took all my points, and I went to watch it. This was probably 7 or 8 years ago. Maybe, yeah, about 7 or 8 years ago, probably. And I went to click on the movie so my wife and I could watch it. We got popcorn, we got everything ready to go. And it said this movie was no longer available. So I had wasted my points. I didn't get the free rental, and I didn't get to see The Sender. Now, fast forward to, I don't know, 6, 7 years later, I now have it and watch it with Joe. Um, that's just a little story. It pissed me off at the time, but you know, it is what it is. Now I'm going to pair this with, because I know I'm rambling, I'm going to pair The Sender with Patrick, Evil Awakens. Now, this is the remake of Patrick, which is an Ozploitation film, of course, from the mid to late 70s, somewhere in that vicinity. I happen to like this better than the original. I do like the original, don't get me wrong. I think the original is a fantastic film, but I do like this one better. First of all, this one has Sharni Vincent. I don't know if you guys remember her from Who's Next or You're Next. You're Next? Yeah, You're Next. But she was kind of the badass final girl in You're Next. And she's very good in this. It's a really good movie, and I think it pairs up well because of the asylum setting and, of course, the doctors always being there and trying to help the patient. So that's kind of why I paired up Patrick Evil Awakens. Don't forget to check out Joe's review and to see what he picked as a recommendation. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.